Did you know there's a massive shift going on in the world of finance right now? Unfortunately, this shift is going on right under our noses and few people will take advantage of this opportunity. Hello and welcome to today's video where we will discuss one of the biggest financial happenings and how it impacts our everyday lives. Make sure to stick around till the end of the video so you can see how even you can make the most of this economic opportunity. Before we get to it, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our latest updates. Now back to the video. Recently, the CEO of ARK Invest, Cathie claimed the most massive misallocation of capital in the history of mankind is ongoing. Now, if you know Cathie, you know she is famous for her high-risk investing in disruptive technologies. Now, you might not share the same appetite for her high-risk, high-reward strategy, but stick around till the end of the video so you might find something worth investing in. After all, Cathie manages $60 billion in assets, but that's by the way. So why does Cathie think that there's a massive movement of capital in the financial world? Well, it's certainly not unconnected to the disruptive technologies she likes to invest in. You see, it's the year 2022 and some technologies are causing a significant change in how we live our lives. One of the technologies that have taken the world by storm is blockchain. Blockchain simply means a system of recording information in digital ledgers. Ledgers can be edited or erased once the information has been recorded. Blockchain tech allows people to transfer digital assets like money, music, pictures, digital art, etc. between each other without any middlemen. For most people, blockchain means Bitcoin, and Bitcoin means money, so once they hear the word blockchain, they are thinking about the latest crypto to invest in. This is totally understandable. The first ever blockchain was Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created as a currency that would replace the fiat currency. However, one good thing you have to know is that Bitcoin makes up almost half of the crypto market. That means when something good happens to Bitcoin, it's usually good for most other cryptos. The same is true when something bad happens to Bitcoin. So back to blockchain. Blockchain is set to change the way many industries and corporations will do business in the near future. The first industry that will get a major switch up because of blockchain is the finance industry. Decentralized finance is what people are calling the mix of blockchain technology and financial services. Decentralized finance, or DeFi, aims to replace the most traditional finance institutions. Decentralized finance will allow people to carry out financial transactions with more freedom and safety. DeFi is also cheaper since it cuts out a lot of middlemen. One of the main DeFi services that is gaining traction is DeFi lending. DeFi lending provides crypto loans in a decentralized system, for example, no middlemen. In DeFi lending, you can contribute your crypto coins for borrowing purposes. With DeFi lending, you get much higher interest rates, plus full control of your money. DeFi lending makes up about 18% of the total DeFi market cap, which stood at $96.68 billion in 2021. That's around $7 billion. Now, according to Cathie, this is one of the biggest causes of massive outflow of capital in today's world. As Cathie has rightly pointed out, more institutions and corporate bodies are joining the crypto ecosystem today. You see, for a long time, only bold investors dared to enter the crypto market. The crypto market has been seen as too disruptive, and it is. At the start, many companies wanted to keep their money in relatively stable assets like fiat currencies and precious metals, unlike crypto, whose value is very volatile, and some of that is true. Bitcoin reached an all-time high of $68,000 in November of 2021. Only 4 months later, it had lost nearly half of that value. Today, one Bitcoin is equal to $39,000. So if crypto is still very volatile, what has changed the attitude of these large corporations? Well, Cathie has pointed to the fact that the cost of capital in today's world has risen by a sharp 25%. In simple terms, the cost of capital means a return a company needs to make to justify the capital cost of a project. The cost of capital includes both equity and debt. According to Michael Saylor, the cost of capital in today's world is simply too high, and it's pushing companies to think that conventional treasury strategies no longer work. As further evidence, he points to the S&P 500, which is compounding at 11% annually, and the Nasdaq compounding at 17%. With that, companies will have to look for alternatives like decapitalizing the company or investing in something that will stay ahead of the cost of capital. And welcome Bitcoin. And remember, what's good for Bitcoin is good for crypto, most times. Michael Saylor says soon enough companies are going to have to go into Bitcoin because it's the best way to hedge against the rising cost of capital. Bitcoin has compounded at an annual growth rate of 198% in the last decade. This means that even during this big crash, Bitcoin and crypto as a whole has been growing astronomically compared to the S&P 500. For Michael Saylor, it makes sense to keep some of a company's cash holdings in Bitcoin. Recently, Michael Saylor revealed that his company, MicroStrategy, would purchase more Bitcoins for a whopping $1.5 billion. And guess what? He's not the only one doing so. Even though MicroStrategy leads the way in companies with the largest Bitcoin portfolios, There are also other major players. Tesla is another massive company that has spent an enormous sum on the purchase of Bitcoin. According to Tesla's SEC file, the company has poured about $1.5 billion into purchasing the digital currency. The next major corporation to diversify some of its holdings with Bitcoin is Galaxy Digital Holdings. Galaxy Digital has invested about $700 million so far into Bitcoin. According to Cathie Wood, this trend will only continue. In a recent interview, Cathie had this to say: "What's happening right now has surprised us. We expected institutional interest to pick up this year, and it certainly has, but the way in which it's picked up has surprised us. I don't think we ever thought that there would be a broad-based substitution of Bitcoin for cash in corporate balance sheets, so we find that very interesting." Cathie adds that if companies continue to shift more of their cash holdings to Bitcoin, we could see a massive price boost, one that will leave the most bullish Bitcoin investors a little doubtful. Cathie did a little price analysis that showed if every single company on the S&P 500 was to add 1% of their cash to Bitcoin, it could add a modest $40,000 to Bitcoin's price, taking it all the way to $79,000. That is at today's price. And for those of you who know Cathie, you'd know that that's her being conservative. Cathie showed that if those same companies were to put 10% of their cash holdings into Bitcoin, then Bitcoin's price would jump by an additional $400,000. And that's just for corporations. Cathie also did a similar analysis for institutional investors. She found that if institutional investors, including pension funds, sovereign wealth funds, and other institutions add 2.5% of their cash into Bitcoin, it will add $200,000 into Bitcoin's price. If they took it up a notch and put 6.5%, it would add $500,000 into Bitcoin's price. By combining both corporations and institutions, Bitcoin's price could reach $900,000, and that's probably why Cathie has a conservative estimate of Bitcoin's future price, which she says will be about $500,000. With companies like Tesla and MicroStrategies leading the way, we are surely going to see more institutions and corporations put more cash into Bitcoin. Who knows, we might even see Bitcoin reach Cathie's $500,000 price prediction. Another reason why many institutions might move over to Bitcoin is because of the unfortunate events going on in Ukraine. First of all, I want to sympathize with the good people of Ukraine, and we also urge Russia to stop the war and let peace reign. That being said, in light of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, many countries, especially Western countries, have slapped Russia with crippling economic sanctions. The Russian ruble has fallen to less than a cent in recent days thanks to massive sanctions put on the Russian economy. Sadly, many Russian companies and individuals are unfortunate victims of these sanctions. Like in 2014, these sanctions are likely going to wipe away the savings of ordinary Russians. It will also damage Russian companies in severe ways, unless there's some sort of alternative. Oh, it seems there is. Many Russians are seeking to avoid economic damage have flocked to Bitcoin. Bitcoin could provide these people with a way to protect their cash in the face of devastating sanctions, and Russian businesses could follow suit. Now, governments worldwide have spoken about regulating crypto so that Russia doesn't use it to evade sanctions. Suppose that's the aim of the Russian government. In that case, it will fail because many crypto exchanges will follow their individual government rules on sanctions. This means that the Russian economy won't successfully use crypto to evade sanctions for long. However, once the war is over, it is unlikely that crypto's added popularity will reduce. All of these could be pointing to something massive in the future of cryptocurrencies. Maybe one day Cathie would be right and Bitcoin could reach $500,000. Thanks for staying till the end. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and like the video and don't forget to subscribe. Finally, go ahead and tell us in the comment section whether you believe Bitcoin will reach $500,000 anytime soon.